I've been working overtime like crazy, just to show you how I really feel.
Mic check. Mic check. Oh yeah. Getting everything together, y'all. People who argue for no reason. You know who you are. That's you. Is that you? You know if it's you. Are you dealing with somebody who argues for no reason? How many people do you know argue for no reason? Just start shit out of nowhere. Ooh, are the comments working? If you guys are in the comments, send a comment. Just say what's up. Let me know it's working. How's the audio sound? Let me know. Quick conversation today. Get the clubhouse room going. We're gonna start the clubhouse room. Uh-oh, I see people coming in. Welcome everybody. Live recording. I got my phone near me this time. If you guys want to come on stage, you can. But this is a live simulcast. Welcome to the podcast, you guys. We're back with Shut the Fuck Up and Listen. It's the name of the podcast. Why did I name it Shut the Fuck Up and Listen? Because I believe if more people did that, then our relationships would be a lot better. We are doing a simulcast podcast. This is simulcast across a lot of different platforms. We're on Facebook. On my profile, we're on Facebook on my business page, facebook.com/Shannon Rawls, and we are on YouTube. If you go to youtube.com/Shannon Rawls, you will see me live. We are also on Twitter, formerly known as Periscope. You know, Periscope is going away soon. I think it's gone now. I'm not sure, but it still works for a little bit, but they're getting ready to delete the entire website. But for all those that use Periscope, it works on Twitter as well. We are also on LinkedIn. So if you want to see this, you can go to either one of those websites. I prefer everybody to go to YouTube or Facebook, but you can also go to my personal page on Facebook, or you can go to Twitter. We are also simulcast on Clubhouse. Why do I do it on Clubhouse? Because some people can't just be watching videos while they're at work. And so sometimes it's better just to listen in, and or they can't even get to YouTube. You know, some companies block YouTube and block Facebook, but Clubhouse isn't blocked yet. So some people, you know, the IP addresses. So some people just tune in to Clubhouse and maybe they want to pop in and pop out. So thank you everybody in Clubhouse. If you guys can hear me, I don't know. They said it sounded fantastic yesterday. I'm assuming it sounds fantastic today. I didn't do anything different. But this is episode number 4 of the Shut the Fuck Up and Listen podcast. And today we are discussing people who love to argue, people who argue for no reason. And I wonder if that's you. Is that you, or is it somebody that loves to argue? And we're going to just talk about that. We'll keep it short today, unless somebody calls in. You guys can always call in if you want to jump on the live. All you got to do is go to callers.shanonrawls.com and pop in your name, and then I'll bring you on. Or if you go to guests, it's all of them. I use all of the names, like guests.shanonrawls.com or callers.shanonrawls.com. If you go to any one of those websites on your iPhone or your Android or even your full computer, you can come on the live. You don't have to call in. There's no phone number. Technology has gotten so much better. You don't even have to call like a phone number. We do it all through the web, through Safari or Chrome or whatever web browser you use. I appreciate you guys showing up. And the Shut the Fuck Up and Listen podcast is the podcast for people to tune in to talk about 2 main topics. I discuss entrepreneurship and I discuss relationships. To me, as far as I'm concerned, they're just 2 different sides of the same coin. So I'll pop in on one day and talk about how men can be better for women, or I'll talk about what women can do to be better for their man, or I'll talk about entrepreneurship. I've been an entrepreneur for 22 years. Imagine that. I started Rawls Enterprises in June 1999 and I'm still going strong. I've had multiple companies. I've had so many ideas since 1999. Right now, I'm a fashion designer. And a podcaster. Hey, normally I produce podcasts for other people, but I decided to start my own. I got the space for it and I got the equipment, so I figured I'd just do my own. And then I am a film producer by trade. That's what I've been film producing since 1999. Well, actually, I started my clothing line my first clothing line in 1999 with my fraternity brother. But that didn't go really well. And then I started making movies in the year 2000, or actually the end of 1999. And then I had been doing that for a long time. Right around 2008, the economy crashed. I was an independent film producer, so things got kind of rough. I had to get a job. Went to work for Sears, stayed there for 2 years. No, 3. Yeah, 3 years, man. I went to Sears in 2009, became a manager there, left in 2012, and then I jumped full-time fashion. I had always had a passion for fashion, even back in the 90s. And instead of going back to the film industry, I decided to jump into fashion, see how that was. And I've been here ever since. Life has been really great. I love it. We have 7 brands here. That's one. That's my streetwear brand, Bars Raw, that you see in the background. But we also have Monochrome, and we have Black, and we have Burning Sands, and we have Classy Club, and we have Gray. We have a brand called Pussy. Yes, Pussy. It's a women. If you go to pussy.clothing, you'll see a clothing line. It's actually about women empowerment, to be honest with you. That's the Pussy brand. And then of course I podcast. I make podcasts. The Bars Raw brand has a podcast, and then I have my 2 personal ones. Shut the Fuck Up and Listen, which is what you're listening to or watching right now, and then also my Raw Wisdom. Where I just give nuggets of wisdom to help you do better and be better. Somebody who needs to hear this. Share it, because somebody who needs to do better and be better, and that might be you. And one thing that people need to do better in is arguments. Cantankerous. Have you ever heard of the term cantankerous, the word? That word means people that just love to fight, love to argue over nothing. And I know more people that like to argue than I prefer to know. And some of the characteristics of people that love to argue is those that are always saying that they object to something. Like everything is always an issue. What up, Gil? It's good to see you, brother. Hey, I saw that photo shoot you did, man. Are you modeling now? I saw that on your Facebook, man. That was you've been the face of the Nupes on my brand, on the Burning Sands brand, with that one shot you sent me. I've been using that shit all the time, man. The ladies love it, and the Nupes love it too, because you helped me sell out those jackets. It's good to see you out there making moves, man. I didn't know that you were modeling though, and if you weren't, it certainly looked like you were. Yeah, so we're talking about people that like to argue, man, and people that object to damn near everything. They're always complaining about something. Something's wrong with a little bit of everything. And not sure why they're like that. You know, I'm not sure the history or the psychological component that comes along with people that like to fight all the time. But it's there. And I know that you know somebody that's like that, or maybe that's you. Maybe you've heard oftentimes from your significant other, or maybe your coworkers, or maybe your family members. Damn, you like to fight. Like you just create fights out of nowhere. You know, things can be going smooth. No, you know, maybe you're in a relationship with somebody and you guys are having a patch of good days, you know, and there's nothing is going wrong, and maybe you're making love and that's doing good, and you guys are making money, and the house is clean, and you know the cars are clean, and there's food in the refrigerator, and the movies on TV is good, and then one of you just out of nowhere starts a goddamn fight, like for nothing, and then just create or pushes a button. You know, it's about pushing buttons, right? We all have them. We all have that one thing. My best friend DeMarco, rest his soul. One thing that he used to hate was people touching his head, because he had a hook. He had a hook in the back of his head, and you know, as a child, people used to tease him. I got teased because of my dark skin and black ass Shannon, and I was ashy. And DeMarco got teased because of that hook in the back of his head. And as we got older, one thing that he always hated was people to touch his head. He said he didn't even want a woman touching his head. And so he would explain to the women that he would deal with, like, yo, don't rub my head as a term of endearment. Don't do that because you think I like it. And then what would happen is when somebody tells you something that they don't like, that's a button. And you're supposed to take that button and lock it away in the safe, put it away, and don't ever touch it again. Because if you care about that person, you'd remember that that's something that bothers them, and you'd put that away, and you won't allow that to become an issue in the relationship. However, people that are cantankerous don't necessarily put those buttons away. Instead, they use those buttons as weapons for when something's going bad in their life, or maybe they're pissed off, or maybe they got in trouble at work, and they come home and then they push your button. They know that you don't like the toilet seat left up, so he takes a piss and he leaves the toilet seat up with piss around the rim. You know, he knows that she knows that he don't like her leaving her panties laying around on the floor. Put them in the washroom, but she just leaves them there. She just, you know, pushes that button, and they're gonna say something, right? They're gonna say, yo, you know, what's up with this? And then boom, suddenly there's a fight. It's just started something out of nowhere because you did something that you knew you shouldn't have done, but you did it anyway, which means that you don't really give a shit about the person that you're dealing with. As far as I'm concerned, you know, you only get one time for it to be a mistake. The second time is intentional, you know, but people push those buttons, man, and they push them out of nowhere because things could be going smooth for days, and then nobody's arguing and everything is going great, and then out of nowhere somebody says something that's not cool, and then boom, they got what they wanted. They got an argument out of that, you know. And then think about it. It's always the other person who's the source of the argument. Boy, people that like to argue sure like to gaslight, don't they? They let you, you know, they'll. I remember my pastor told me a long time ago a phrase. He said he was going through some stuff with his wife, and he said women will. What was the phrase? He said women will drive you to drink and then call you a drunk. That's always stuck with me. He said, man, women will drive you to drink and then call you a drunk. That's gaslighting. I'm gonna push your button. I'm gonna do something that makes you so mad that you just lose your cool. You blow your top, you yelling. You like, why are you doing this to me? And then turn around and say, damn, why are you yelling? Or why are you being so toxic? Or why are you I'm not yelling, I'm being super calm. I'm trying to be calm with you. And then they drive you to yell when they know that they were the ones that started that whole thing. You know, so that's super gaslighting, and they always make sure that they blame you for being the source for being the source of that problem. You know, but we don't have to go that. So, fault. They always pointing fault. It's always somebody else. That's a term that they say too. It's always your fault. It's always about fault with people who like to fight, with cantankerous people. You know, it's well, look what you did. You know, that's what they always seem to say. It's look at how you screwed this up. Knowing that they're the one that pushed the button, knowing that they're the ones that caused the issue. And is that you? I wonder, are you the ones that are out there always talking about fault? It's your fault. Look what you did. You ruined everything. And it was really your goddamn reason. It was really you that caused the fight because you just felt like fighting that day, or you just felt like being an asshole to your partner or to your friend or to your family member, to your sister or your brother or your cousin. You just felt like being an asshole. Man, you know, and it's difficult to see. I mean, it's difficult to get them to see a different perspective too. It's difficult to get people who like to fight to see a perspective beyond their own scope of imagination. They can't see, they don't take anything into consideration. You know, have you heard the term out there where people say, oh man, you're listening to respond and you're not listening to understand. You're hearing me, but you're not listening to me. You hear what I'm saying, but you're not listening to what I'm saying. You're just waiting for me to finish. You're just waiting for me to come to a period. So then you can just fire back some bullshit that probably most times has nothing to do with what I just explained or what you may have just explained to them, because they are not trying to see your perspective in that particular situation. They just want to fight you. And that's what they're there for. And some people do that because success is weird to them. Do you know some people like that? That's kind of, I know some people who, whenever things start going too good for them in life, they turn around and fuck it up themselves. You know, they start making too much money and then they find a reason to fuck that up. Life is going too good with in their relationship and their job is going too good. So then they decide to start drinking or some bullshit like that. Or they just they throw a monkey wrench in their own program. They sabotage their own success. Do you know people who sabotage their own success? And I can't imagine the reasons why. Maybe it's because they fear that they won't be able to handle the success once they attain it. Once they get to a certain level, they won't know what to fucking do. You know, some people live in squander intentionally because they know how to navigate that. I know people who are poverty minded, and you can give them the answers to the test, they still gonna mark the test wrong. It's like, yo, here's the answers to the test of success. All you got to do is do this, do this, do this. Check off. It's a Scantron. It's a fucking multiple choice test. The answers are this one, and this one. You do that, you'll be successful. You give them the test, and then they turn around and do something else. They check off different boxes. And it's like, what the entire fuck? Bro, I gave you the answers to the test of success. Why did you do that? It's because they know that success is not something that they can probably handle. They prefer to be in a shitty situation. They prefer to have a fucked up disposition in life. They prefer to be fighting with their spouse, because being in a relationship with somebody and everything going good is just weird to them. You know, if you're in your 30s, maybe you were just full of toxic relationships in your 20s. And so now that you found somebody who can actually speak to you and respects you and loves you and is considerate of you, you don't even know how to fucking deal with that. It's like, well, I don't know what it's like. I know men is like, man, she cooks and she takes care of me, and I don't even know how to do that. I don't even know what the fuck, you know, that's weird to me. I got a woman that loves me. Let me fuck that up, because I'm not used to that. I'm used to women cheating on me, or I'm used to women yelling at me or being abrasive or taking advantage of me. And now that I got somebody who doesn't do any of those things, I'm I don't know what to do with her, and so I'm going to ruin that. Or you have women who do that same thing with their men. Maybe they have some traumatic childhood experiences sexually, maybe they have some early adult experiences that are very traumatic. And so then they get into a relationship with a man who loves on her and cares for her and wants the best for her and is giving her the best advice. And he wants to lead and do the things that's necessary for her success. And she doesn't know what to fucking do with that. So she goes and cheats and fucks his cousin or something like that, or goes out there and, spends money where they agreed that they weren't going to spend money, or does something weird just out of the blue. And it's like, and people, I know people that's listening know people like this, and you think about it, you try to wrap your head around it, like, why the fuck did you do that? And then they can never explain it. I don't know. I got one friend, he just says, man, I'm a fuck up. He proclaims the title, I'm a fuck up. He's in his late 40s and he's, I'm just a fuck up, Shan. It's like, so you a fuck up and you gonna still do it? But that's just how some people are, and then they drive you crazy, because if you live with them or you work with them, you got that coworker who every day you go to the office or you go to your job and they got something shitty to say. It's never positive. They talk about, it's just like everything is an issue. Everything in life, politics, religion, relationships, the job itself that you guys both work at, the supervisor, the customers, everything is a fucking problem. You got to get to the point. You get to the point where you say, don't say nothing today unless it's positive. Can you do that? Do you have the ability to be at work today for this 8-hour shift and say something positive only? Do you have coworkers like that? Are you that coworker that's always coming to work and saying some negative shit? You never have anything positive to say, or you always got something bad to mention about another coworker? Nothing, you don't ever compliment anybody about how good they did a particular project at work or anything like that. It's always just a negative. And some of those people are the ones that do that so they can try to climb the ladder of success at the job, hating on you with your supervisor, talking shit about, oh look, they forgot to lock the safe the right way and put the key in the key box like they're supposed to, boss. I just wanted to mention that it wasn't me, or look, they forgot to close the gate over in the back office room. And I'm just saying, I know that you explained that you would like us to log out of the computers and make sure we do it a certain way. But I'm just saying, haters, those people that's just causing division at your job, just causing a problem with some procedure, not positive, and say, hey, I noticed, calling you up, say, hey, I noticed that you forgot to do that. The supervisor was coming. I fixed it for you. I got you covered. So don't worry about it. I'm gonna fix that for you. And then you do the same thing for them, and you guys are working together to create, a great environment to work at, not anything hostile. But some people just can't do that because they don't like you for no fucking reason. Some people are in a relationship. Some people love people that they don't like. Ooh, that's a topic. I may have to talk about that. How many times people, I love you, but I don't fucking like you. I love you. I'm in love with you, or I have love for you, or agape love, or whatever, however you want to look at it. But your personality is so shitty, I just don't like you. Or my personality is so shitty, I don't like you. That's the people we're talking about today. We're not talking about people who you probably deserve to not be liked. We're talking about people who, are just such, negative people that they don't like people just for no reason. But they love you. They want to deal with. They want you. They want the best for you. Kind of like the podcast we talked about yesterday. Friends and family who don't support your business. That's what we discussed. If you want to see that podcast, we discussed that yesterday. Friends and family who don't support your business, but they got the handout. They want you to give them some products, or they need your services, or they're competing against you. You start something and then you want to get their support in what you're doing, and instead they go and start something similar to it, and then had a nerve to come ask you for some tips. They wanna bend your ear. You know, those are the kind of people that probably start fights for no fucking reason, right? You know, but I mean, they're out there, and these people they tend to have narcissistic tendencies. You know, we don't have to. That's a whole nother podcast too, narcissists. But the people that I'm talking about, people that like to fight, usually have narcissistic tendencies, and another thing they do is they feel threatened. They get defensive whenever you point something out, or you can even come to them with love. I had a discussion on podcast two or three podcasts ago, where we were talking about gaslighting, and we were mentioning, okay, say for instance, you're in a relationship with somebody, right? And a woman tells her man, babe, you left the toilet seat up. We'll use the comment that, that whole joke about the toilet seat. Babe, you left the toilet seat up. And you know that I don't like that. And so he says, oh yeah, no problem. I'll put the toilet. Yeah. But listen, you left out you left the dishes in the kitchen. Well, we're talking about the toilet seat and what you did just now. But somehow you feel the need to mention, after me telling you that you left the toilet seat up, you got to tell her that she didn't do the dishes. But that wasn't bothering you until she told you about you. When they told you about you, you didn't even take that. You felt defensive. You felt threatened in some form or fashion, that you needed to just, whether it's misery loves company, and misery is inviting you to this doghouse that you just put me in because I decided to leave the toilet seat up. I don't want to be the only one wrong in the house, so I'm gonna let you know about what you did. People that like to argue usually continue the arguments when it's unnecessary. What you should do is just say, damn, I did tell you that I was gonna leave the toilet seat up, or you told me that before and I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I'll make sure I don't do that again. I'll be mindful of you, considerate of you, and make sure I put that toilet seat down next time. I apologize and I'm sorry. And leave it at that. That's it. There's nothing else to say. There is no but, because everything before the but is erased. That's just it. But instead, people, no, yeah, but what about what about you? Well, how about when you did this or that? That's that defense mechanism that people who love to argue seem to always employ whenever they can. It's a shitty thing. It's a shitty way to look at, a personality. But the reality is, some of you guys that's listening to this podcast, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about every time that things are going good with your friends, your family, or your significant other, that you fuck shit up because you just want to argue. There's no reason for you to start one. You could have kept things cool, but you just wanted to argue. Think about those long road trips, man, where it's supposed to be vacating and supposed to be having fun with each other, loving on each other, heading to Vegas or heading to Atlantic City or cruising down to Florida to get some sunshine, and then somebody just says something stupid and it ruins the fucking trip. Now it's a quiet drive. Nobody, and then that's where the ego kicks in, because the ego is not going to allow anybody to say I'm sorry, or you know what, let's pull over and let's hug and let's do better. How about that? No, fuck that. Fuck you, and now it's just a quiet ride the whole time. And when you think back to it, you say, damn, I'm fighting about something that I didn't have to fight about. I'm fighting on something that I'm saying something that that doesn't even resonate with you because you just want to fight. You're not even going to apologize for saying something that wasn't even part of the discussion or the time. It's not even on topic today. So now you ruined our road trip to fucking Yosemite because you just because shit was going too good. Because shit was going too good. Some people don't like things to go too good. That's right. Anu says, I know someone like that. The response is usually, I was going to say the same about you. Now I don't even bother. Yeah, she don't bother. I know it's exhausting. And when you get older, you get exhausted, but sometimes it's too late. And so, and I'm speaking to the young people now, the people who's under 30 years old. Listen to what I'm talking about right now, and don't let that be you, because that will stifle your life. It'll stifle it'll hold that bag back. You know, you want to get to the bag. I know you want to make some money, but you ain't gonna make money if this is how you think and this is how you do people. And it's damn sure not gonna do good for your relationships. It's not gonna do any good for any of your relationships, especially somebody that you love and you care for. Learn to not fight where you don't have to. Learn to not create dissension and division and arguments and create an atmosphere that's hostile and uneasy to be in, and making somebody not want to sleep with you. Where they want to turn their back. You know, you facing one way in the bed and then they're facing the other way in the bed, and you guys sleep like that all night long, all because somebody said something that they shouldn't have said. And half the times, you know that you shouldn't have said it. What was the movie? There was a movie with Kevin Spacey called K-Pax. I use this all the time. I love that movie. And there was a scene in the movie. The character name is Pro. You should watch this movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a movie called K-Pax, K-PAX. Go watch that movie. It's a great movie with Kevin Spacey. Great acting. And one of the scenes in that movie is where the doctor was talking to Pro, who's supposed to be an alien from outer space, right? And he said, well, on your planet, how do you guys deal with conflict? You know, do you have lawyers? Do you have, do you go to court? You know, when somebody's wrong, what do you do? And Pro looked at him. He said, over on planet K-Pax, where I'm from, we don't have lawyers. He said, well, how do you deal with when somebody's wrong? He said, every living being in the universe knows the difference between right and wrong. That's always stuck with me. Every living being in the universe, unless you have a mental disconnect, every living being in the universe knows the difference between right and wrong. And more often than not, people who are wrong know they're wrong, but their ego won't allow them to admit it. People who start fights know they started that goddamn fight. And they did it, but they won't admit that they did it. They'll find a reason to excuse it. They always blame others, as I said before. It's always somebody else's fault. Don't let that be you, young folk. You don't want to. You want a nice, strong, long-lasting relationship. Don't start shit. You know, as they say, pick and choose your battles. You don't have to fight every fight. You don't have to come to every fight you're invited in, and you don't have to start a fight and invite people in it where it's unnecessary. Oh man, I appreciate you guys. I just wanted to talk about this today. Tomorrow we're gonna talk about something else, maybe business. I haven't thought about it. I'll figure it out today. I appreciate you being here though. Thank you so much for joining the podcast. I got to get my equipment together, man. I don't even know how many people are online, if anybody's even listening to me, because my shit ain't working. You know, I got to go buy some more equipment. I'm using this, my iPad Pro, and it's giving me, I got this one app logged in here, and it's supposed to tell me how many people's in here, but they have a hardware version. I'm going to buy that hardware version, so I have to deal with this shit. Just order it on Amazon Prime. Everybody, if you don't have Amazon Prime, you tripping. So make sure you got Amazon Prime. It's worth the fucking 2-day free delivery. I pay what's the price? $119 a year. Get Amazon Prime. You know. So appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining the pod. What's up, Soya? Soya is my homegirl from Clubhouse. I appreciate you being here. We're gonna get her podcast popping. She's a radio person now. She's had a podcast before, and so we're gonna bring that back. So she's coming in. She's just told me she could hear and see fine. Thank you so much for giving me. You know what, Soya, do me a favor. Run over to Clubhouse and tell me if Clubhouse is clear. and then come back here and say them in the notes, or just text me because I might be checking out of here before. No, you got 5 minutes. So do me a favor. Let me know if Clubhouse is going. And if Clubhouse sounds good today, as it did yesterday, I was told, then I know my settings is good, and I'm going to leave my mixer just like it's supposed to be. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Here's what I need you to do, though. Can you subscribe to it, brother? It's going to get better, and I'm going to grow this channel. I'm going to grow it, and I'm going to have great topics, and I'm going to talk about relationship shit, and I'm going to talk about entrepreneurship. Those are the two things that I know well. I'm going to discuss them, and I'm going to have people on the board. I don't even invite people, because right now, because this is episode number 4, and I'm working out the kinks and hoping, setting the light. Like right now, I got a monitor. I set up a monitor. I got a 24-inch monitor that's right up under the camera that I didn't have before. So I was talking to everybody like this for the first 3 podcasts. And I know it felt weird because I could see myself, but I needed to see the screen. But now I can see you guys here. So I feel more in touch with the people that's watching. Thank you, love. Sawyer says we sound good on Clubhouse. So I appreciate everybody that's in the Clubhouse room. And then subscribe to your boy. Subscribe. That's important, man. Because what you do when you subscribe is you let people know, hey, man, you let other people that don't know any better. Oh, this is kind of interesting. So run over to YouTube, type in my name, Shannon Rawls, and then I'll pop up and it's the subscribe button, just like that. And then every time I go live or I do a post up a video, you'll get notification. Maybe you'll be interested in it, but it doesn't take anything to do so. And then it helps the channel as well. And then you'll also get notified when I know some pretty cool people. I know some people that you're gonna want to hear from. And once I let them know that I'm doing this, they're gonna want to come on. So I appreciate you guys. And we out. Watch, I get to just hit this button on my iPad and we switch to the outro. Talk to you guys. I'll be here tomorrow. Peace.
Esa chica quiere selfie, ella quiere ver. Pa' que el CP se dé cuenta que aquí perdió esa mujer. Lo que quiere es enloquecer, ser la mujer que él quería ver.
Hey, Tanika, you like my shit? That's what's up. Like my shit. Like it. Like my shit. Somebody asked me, man, why you play this song at the end? This shit gold. Hey, 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 hey. Y'all should see me. I should turn the camera on so you can see me dance.
Ella ya no quiere relación. Alguien que diga su condición, que solamente le dé traición. Pa' después llegar con un perdón. Quiere hangar y ser de esos pibis que goza la vida y lo hacen como esa chica quiere selfie, ella quiere ver. Pa' que el CP se dé cuenta que aquí perdió esa mujer. Lo que quiere es enloquecer, ser la mujer que él quería ver. Esa chica quiere selfie, que yo parezca en mí, No tiene sueños, solamente en sus sueños. Nos ponemos risueños con un norteño y mi flow brasileño. Yo te juro que es bueno, Ya me doy el palo, es empate si lo desigualo. Le gusta lo honesto y lo malo. Me traje un regalo. Ella ya no quiere relación. Alguien que diga su condición, que solamente le dé traición. Pa' después llegar con un perdón. Quiere hangar y ser de esos pibis que goza la vida y lo hacen como esa chica quiere selfie, ella quiere ver. Pa' que el CP se dé cuenta que aquí perdió esa mujer. Lo que quiere es enloquecer, ser la mujer que él quería ver. Esa chica quiere selfie, que yo parezca en mí, Dime todo lo que ella quiere, nada ha sido regalado. Entre más independiente, más quiero estar a su lado. Esas nenas, mata, es que más. Ella está plena la noche entera. Esa chica quiere selfie, ella quiere ver. Pa' que el CP se dé cuenta que aquí chica quiere selfie, selfie, que yo parezca, selfie, que yo parezca.